API learning. Intermediate level. Introduction. In today's software landscape, applications need to communicate and share data seamlessly. This is where APIs, application programming interfaces, become essential. APIs allow different software systems, services, or components to interact with each other by defining a set of rules and protocols. Learning how to use and build APIs is a crucial skill for developers and software engineers. In this article, you will learn what APIs are and why they matter, common API types and standards, how APIs work under the hood, RESTful API principles and examples, working with APIs programmatically, real-world API applications and best practices. Understanding APIs is vital for modern software development, cloud services, mobile apps, and integrations. What is an API? An application programming interface. API is a set of rules allowing different software programs to communicate with each other. In simple terms, API equals a messenger that takes requests and tells a system what you want it to do, then returns the response back to you. APIs allow access to data or services without exposing the backend implementation. Example concepts: requesting user data from a social media platform, sending payment info to a payment gateway, retrieving weather data from a third-party service. APIs standardize communication, which makes software modular and easier to maintain and scale. Why APIs are important. APIs power much of the modern digital ecosystem. Benefits include interoperability. Different systems can work together regardless of internal language or technology. Reusability. Developers can reuse API services without building everything from scratch. Security. APIs provide controlled access to data or functionality. Automation. APIs enable automation of workflows and processes. Innovation. APIs encourage building new applications by leveraging existing platforms and services. From mobile apps that communicate with backend servers to web applications using cloud services, APIs are everywhere. Common API types and standards. REST. Representational state transfer. Most popular web API style. Uses standard HTTP methods. GET, POST, PUT, DELETE. Stateless server communication. Data usually formatted as JSON or XML. SOAP. Simple Object Access Protocol. Protocol for exchanging structured information. Uses XML format. More rigid with built-in standards for security. Transactions. GraphQL. Query language for APIs. Client can request exactly the data it needs. Reduces overfetching of data. RPC. Remote procedure call. Calls functions, methods on a remote system. Can use JSON RPC. XML RPC. Understanding these types helps choose or design APIs effectively. How APIs work. APIs work by exchanging requests and responses over a network, usually HTTP, HTTPS. Typical workflow. Client means make request. Get user info means server processes means server returns response. User data means client processes response. Requests commonly include endpoint URL, e.g. HTTPS. api.example.com/users/123. HTTP method. GET, POST, PUT, DELETE. Headers. Authentication tokens. Content type. Body data. For post-PUT requests. Responses commonly include status code, 200 OK, 404 not found. Response data in JSON, XML, or other formats. RESTful APIs. Principles and example. RESTful APIs follow these core principles. Stateless. Each request from the client contains all information needed. Client-server architecture. Separation of concerns. Cacheable responses. Layered system. Architecture composed in layers for scalability. Uniform interface. Consistent resource identification and interaction. Example: HTTP GET request. Request. Get HTTPS. appy.example.com/books/1. Response. JSON id. 1. Title: Learning APIs. Author: Jane Doe. Working with APIs programmatically. Most programming languages provide libraries or built-in tools to interact with APIs. Example in Python using requests. Python import requests. URL equals https appy.example.com/books/1 response equals requests.get URL. If response status underscore code equals 200 book underscore data equals response JSON. Print book underscore data title else print f error response status underscore code This example sends a GET request and processes JSON response data. Real-world applications of APIs. Social media integration. APIs allow apps to post, get user info, and interact with platforms like Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Payment gateways. Services like Stripe or PayPal provide secure APIs to process payments. Cloud services. Azure, and Google Cloud provide APIs to manage resources like databases, storage, and compute. Automation and bots. APIs enable software bots to interact with services for automation and workflow tasks. Best practices for API learning and usage. Understand HTTP basics and verbs. Get, post, put, delete. Read API documentation thoroughly. Use API testing tools like Postman or curl. Handle errors gracefully. Secure APIs using authentication, e.g., OAuth, API keys. Optimize API calls to reduce latency and costs. Summary. APIs are the backbone of modern software integration and communication. They enable software systems to exchange data and functionality in standardized ways. Learning how APIs work and how to consume or build them is an essential skill for developers. By mastering API concepts such as REST, request response cycles, and authentication, you can build scalable, modular, and connected software applications.